So it's been about a year since I'd had this bike out and on the road. I'd started it a couple times, but not really enough to make sure the battery was maintained or anything. So I'm planning a trip this fall, and I needed to get this out and starting to get it on the road. And a few things happened. I was having an overheating problem, which I've had on this bike before. It seems to be pretty fickle with burping the system and the overflow system and all of that. And I had a rear brake line break, and I had the peg on the back of my kickstand break also just in this last week. So to kind of give you guys a little information, because I know there's not a lot of these bikes around, but a real quick easy fix: I ground down the metal on the back of my kickstand, and if you can see that, I had a buddy weld a nut onto the back of my kickstand, which is going to work out just fine. I'll throw some primer on it and a little bit of paint, and I think it'll be okay. The other problem with the brake line is you can't find a brake line for these. So I ended up using, I believe it was a Kawasaki Galfer brake line. It was just a little bit longer than the stock brake line, and that worked out to my benefit because I had to kind of manipulate it a little bit. In order to avoid the chain back here, I had to have it come out this direction and loop back around, and it goes up over the top of the frame back here and then back down out the other side. But it worked out good. You can see this here is coming out, whereas before it had a metal hard line that kind of went up and over. And this seems to be a really good alternative. The brake is really stiff. It seems to be working really well. And as far as the overheating goes, I just kept filling up the tank and burping it. And this morning I laid the bike down on the ground on one side, checked the fluid, filled it back up, laid it down on the other side, checked the fluid, filled it back up. And so far today, you can see I've been out here in the dirt a little bit around the rice fields, just kind of cruising around. I haven't had any problems with it getting too hot. No problems with it hot at all. As a matter of fact, I just did, I think, like, I don't know, 13 miles or something like that, and the bike does not appear to have gotten too hot at all. It's just staying right around the sweet spot there, right about 80. So just below 80 actually is where it stays. And you can hear it, it starts right up, which is pretty amazing also considering it just sat for like 10 months. So that's it. I hope you guys find those little fixes helpful, and feel free to comment. I might have some other helpful